with his single serving cinnamon rolls. Music to my ears. Then you show it to me. I'm gonna be so sad that I don't get to eat this today. Here's the thing. This is M54026. You have a choice here. You could order 12 of these single serving cinnamon rolls, and that would come home to you for $39.98. 3 easy payments of $13.33. But I'm telling you, you might be a little disappointed because they're not going to last very long, because those 12 are going to go like that. So I recommend you order the 24, because these are a fan favorite here at the Q. And on top of that, you have a stock up and save on the 24, because the 24 comes home for $62.98. That's saving you almost $17. Once you get these in your house, you're never gonna want them to go. So I also recommend locking this in on auto delivery, where you'll receive either the 12 or the 24 every 90 days for the next year. And that's why these cinnamon rolls are the 2020 Customer Choice Food Award winner for the best stock up and save item. See, they voted stock up on these because they are so good. Over 425 5-star reviews, and this is the first day this year that we've seen it presented at this low price. So I want to feast my eyes on these cinnamon rolls and my friend Jimmy the baker himself. So welcome on in, Jimmy. Killing me. Killing Miss
Who's your
Malls.
best friend?
You are, Jimmy.
Who's your best friend?
You're my best friend, Jimmy.
Isn't that great? That's a work of art.
Such a stunner. Let's talk
Good to meet you, by the way.
Good to officially meet you. Quick little story, Jimmy. When I first started here about a year and a half ago, first started going to air, and I was being introduced on Gourmet Holiday with Alberti and Rachel, you were on with these cinnamon rolls, and someone said, go steal a cinnamon roll before they're gone. And I did. And I was like, this man is legit.
I had you at cinnamon. Right?
You sure did. You sure did. Let's talk about these famous cinnamon rolls.
It all starts with, that's why I'm Skyping from the bakery, as you probably figured out already. I'm loving coming to you guys from the bakery because you can really get to see what we're all about. But the cinnamon roll begins and ends with this beautiful, supple, sweet dough. Now, in the old days, when bakers got into their bakeries in the retail stores that we all grew up on, they would typically go in on a Monday. They would make their doughs up for the week, and they would sit in their refrigerators for days. They may or may not have known it at the time, but what was happening to that dough as it sat there was it was fermenting. The sugar and the yeast, just like in wine, was doing its magic, doing its kind of romantic slow dance. If you go into the big commercial manufacturing bakeries, they're going to start off with dough in the beginning of the day. They're going to have a finished cinnamon roll in a package out the door at the end of the day. Not so with us. This dough is going to be made today, and it's not going to be touched. This particular dough, as a matter of fact, probably won't be touched for at least another 48 hours. So that's the first thing. Okay. The second thing is the cinnamon itself. We tried about 15 different cinnamons, and we settled on this Indonesian cinnamon, which we just love because it's not too sharp, it's not too spicy, but it gives you just the right amount of cinnamon, if you will. Some cinnamons out there could be really sharp, and we don't like that. It also stands up really nicely in the microwave. The third thing about our cinnamon roll is the brown sugar. And we learned years in that it really does matter which brown sugar that you use. So we want a nice caramelization of the sugar when it goes into the microwave. We want that cinnamon to stand up. And then the other part of this cinnamon roll, which I think I told you earlier today, we could probably start a whole business on our icing. People call me up all the time looking for additional icing. The icing itself is a cream cheese icing, much like you would find on a red velvet cake or a cupcake. It's actually a bit of a mistake. I had run out of sugar one day making an icing and only put in about 2/3 of what the recipe called for. And I got this kind of not too sweet icing. And I figured it would really pair well with the really sweet cinnamon roll. So I think that's why people like the icing, because when you cut it against the cinnamon roll itself, especially out of the microwave, the flavors combine like nothing you've tasted. It's really delicious.
So let's talk. I can barely get my words out because you cutting into those cinnamon rolls. Looks
Okay.
so good. Cinnamon rolls is like my favorite dessert. My favorite dessert of all time. And I love that it's not just a dessert. You can have it for breakfast on top of it. Let's talk about how they come to us and what we do when they arrive at our doorstep.
Sure. Well, first thing is first. You're going to get them. You're going to get them in an individually wrapped package just like this, and they're baked in the paper. So let's talk about the paper for a moment, okay?
Yes.
The paper, if I can get this open, okay? We used to bake them in big sheets, but what we noticed was when you bake them in big sheets like metal pans, you always get an edge. No matter where you go, you're going to get an edge on the pan, and that would sear the ends. By baking these in paper, every piece becomes like the center cut because the paper does not conduct heat that well. So what you get is kind of this, you get this really, if you can see this really, see how white the outside is?
Yep.
It's not seared, it's not darker. In fact, it's the same texture as is on the inside of this cinnamon roll. So every piece is like the center. Now, the 12s will come to you in a box like this. You're going to get 12 cinnamon rolls and you're going to get 2 tubs of icing, plenty of icing to go around. And my suggestion to you is that when you get them, put everything right in the freezer. You can even put the cream cheese in the freezer. My suggestion is that put it in the refrigerator. It's an icing. It's going to last. You could actually keep it on your counter for several weeks. It's not going to turn. Like many people are concerned that it's going to turn. It's an icing. It's fairly shelf stable. I like to keep it in the refrigerator because I think the eating quality is a lot better. So you're going to get 12 cinnamon rolls and you're going to get 1 tub for each 6. So there's plenty of icing to go around. Individually wrapped, I like to put them right in the freezer or put a bunch of them in the freezer and keep some of them in the refrigerator.
Because you're going to want to keep a couple at the ready at all times. Because once you have one, the hankering never goes away.
Right. So the 24s, okay, again, 1 tub for every 6 cinnamon rolls that you get. So you're going to get 4 tubs of icing. This is nearly 10 pounds of stuff. So I think to your point that you're my hero. No, you shouldn't eat this all in one day. What?
I'll spread it out over a couple.
Okay. So this is what you're getting for at 24. You're getting the 4 tubs, and there's plenty of icing to go around. So have at it.
Have at it, and lock this in on auto delivery. So if you are ordering the 12 pack, which I hear has been most popular, lock that in on auto delivery because every 90 days you're gonna receive 12 more. Same thing if you order the 24. Order the 24 because if you have a family, if you ever entertain, they are going to be the hit of the party. But also lock that in on auto delivery. You also stock up and save about $17, just under $17 when you stock up and save. Jimmy, you have a full hour solo at 5 p.m. on Q2, right?
Isn't that crazy? Who am I? I'm going to be talking to myself. I don't know.
I'll tune in.
Like I said, I hope we make it to YouTube, but all for the right reasons.
Absolutely. Well, it's so nice to finally work with you. I'm just
Same
such
here.
a fan of all the products that you bring here at QVC.
Thanks for your kind words. Enjoy the rest of your day.
You too. All right, so that is M54026, 12 or 24, the great price. Lock it in on auto delivery. You'll receive it every 90 days for a year. Oh, so good. I really want to sink my teeth into one of those cinnamon bowls right now.